Hello YouTube and welcome to more Historic Brawl. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. I'm not streaming this right now, so it's just going to be me focusing on this. If you like the end product, please let me know by hitting the like button or leaving a comment below. But what I'm going to do today is just build a deck. I will be playing this deck later on stream. It's something I've wanted to build, so I was going to off stream and figured I might as well record it so that I can put this sort of thing to YouTube. Again, if you like it, let me know. Today we will be building Adeliz the Cinder because there have been some wizard buffs recently. We got some new cards with Baldur's Gate set. So Adeliz the Cinder is a 3-mana 2/2 for 1 blue and a red. Legendary creature, human wizard with flying and haste, and whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, wizards you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. So the first thing I want to do when I build a deck, especially after a new set releases, I like to just look at the new cards. Have all of them just yet. So the card that I really wanted to play is this Gale Conduit. I think this is not the card I was thinking of. Was there a card that when it attacked, when you did a thing? This is the card I was thinking of. Sorry. The Thayon Evokers, 3-mana 1/1 with double team. As a reminder, double team is when a creature with double team attacks. If it's not a token, conjure a duplicate into your hand, and then they both lose double team. So when this attacks, you get another copy of it into your hand. And it says, when it enters the battlefield, conjure a card named Lightning Bolt into your hand, then discard a card. Whenever you conjure one or more cards, put a +1/+1 counter on this. So at worst, this is a 3-mana 3/3 that draws a Lightning Bolt, and then it draws a Lightning Bolt and a copy of itself. Then you can discard a card. Well, I guess at worst it's 3-mana 2/2 that does those things. And I think that's pretty decent in an Adeliz shell. So we're going to try this card out. I was focused on this because I want to get the card art as one of my icons. That's it for the Mastery Pass. Okay, so this is a 4-mana 2/3 with Specialized 2. It says, when it enters the battlefield, if you cast it, return an instant or sorcery card from your graveyard to your hand. So at worst, it's a 4-mana 2/3 that draws you a card. And then if you specialize for 2 and discard a blue card or a blue color-producing land, it becomes a 4/5 that says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery, draw a card and discard a card. Pretty good. And then the red version says whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, it perpetually gains creatures you control get +1/+0, which is actually pretty sweet. So this will make the deck as well. This is a 2-mana 2/1 specialized 5. It costs 3 less to activate if there are 2 or more instances. So it's going to cost 2 in our deck, likely. It can't be blocked if it's attacking alone, and then it specializes into a 3/3 that just can't be blocked. When it deals combat damage to a player, exile an instant sorcery from your graveyard. Or when you do, tap target creature an opponent controls. That creature doesn't untap, so it freezes a creature. In the red version, if you do, it deals 2 damage to each opponent. This is I mean, it's unblockable once you specialize. Should be pretty straightforward to specialize in this deck. All right. Go in the 2-drop. This might be a bit on the slow side. Let's see. Tap, draw a card, discard a card, put a study counter on this. Specialize 5. When this specializes, remove all study counters from it. Look at that many cards from the top of your library. Put one of them into your hand and the rest on the bottom. Still has the tap ability, or when you do, deals that much damage to target creature, planeswalker. I'm kind of not interested in this, honestly. It's a little on the expensive side for a 2/1. The specialize is very expensive, and then it's just slow. It takes a lot of effort to do not what I would. So that covers the new wizards. So let's see what we want to do here. So Symmetry Mage, not Cemetery. Symmetry Mage is actually pretty good now with the recent buff where it gives 3 power instead of 2. So we can spread this out. And that's base power, so while this and this are out, you're buffing quite a bit across things. Not sure Delver of Secrets is what I would describe as a playable card. This is a cheap flyer that gets buffed by Adeliz and has a bit of interaction attached to it. Making our spells cheaper might not be that good in this deck, and the 1/3 body isn't super relevant. So the reason I'm not too psyched about making spells cheaper is because I plan to have incredibly cheap, usually 1 or 2 cost spells in this deck. So making them 1 cheaper with a body that doesn't attack very well. But we may come back to Brawl and put him in anyway, so we'll go ahead and put this in, and if it looks like he's not going to be that great, Cinder's a battlefield, conjure a duplicate of a random creature. We're not looking for creatures. If this had spell, I'd be into it. Let's see. Hermit's pretty good. Again, just a decent body. It's 2 bodies, and it has interaction attached to it. A wizard entering the battlefield under your control causes... So this is interesting with Gale, right? You play this, Gale comes in... Not Gale. I keep doing that. It's interesting with Vokers. Vokers comes in, you get 2 lightning bolts in hand. Don't currently have a lot of ETBs, though. That might not be good in the end. Do like this. Hello, cat. We're not merfolk. I don't think we'll have enough for this. I honestly... Oh, right. Here's something we can get rebalanced. These are the cards that they've rebalanced that I was talking about. Let's see. 4 mana, 4/4. I think that might have been the only buff. This spell costs blue less to cast for each instant and sorcery you've cast this turn. And when it attacks, exile up to 1 target instant or sorcery from and copy it. You may cast the copy, and you can cast it from your graveyard by exiling 4 instant or sorcery cards from your graveyard in addition. Yes. I don't think it's very good still. When this enters the battlefield, draw 2 cards and discard a card. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery... Oh, right. They switched this from a 1/4 to a 1/5. You can make this a 1/5 as well as getting pumped by Adeliz. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery or wizard spell, this deals 1 damage to any target. Kind of what we're in the market for. 3 mana, 2/4. When it attacks, the next instant costs X less. We're not a big instant or sorcery deck. Then flying haste. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery or wizard, it gets +2/+0. Yeah, it's definitely playable. That's the rebalance. Look at the Great to Alchemy. This card's great. This enters battlefield, choose an instant or sorcery card in your hand of value. Yeah, and we're not the big spell deck. We're just here to have fun. When this enters the battlefield, each other giant or wizard you control and each wizard card in your hand perpetually gains ward 1. I don't hate that. It's giants, but we won't really have giants so much. Alright, fine. I'll put the stupid Delver Secrets in my deck. Alright, where were we? Looking for halfway decent. Permanent was put into your hand from the battlefield. Draw a card. I mean, it's just a 3 mana ETB bounce a creature, which is fine. And I hope we don't have to do Cloud Conceer, although it is a flyer that draws a card, so it's not like the worst thing. Not looking to kick spells. Yeah, and this is where we get into the 3 mana questionable situation. This card is actually halfway decent because we are looking to cast a lot of spells, and we're going to have Young Pyromancer in our deck, so we can flip this over and have just a bunch of 3/3 tokens, hopefully. Stifle Bird is interesting, but I don't know that I want to... here we go. Wall of text that I'm going to regret reading for the millionth time. 3 mana 2/2. Tap, exile an instant or sorcery from your hand and put 3 hone counters on it. It gains at the beginning of your upkeep. Card's exiled, remove a hone counter, and when the last hone counter is removed from this card, if it's exiled, you may cast and pay. Yeah, so this is looking to exile like a 10 mana, 8 mana spell, and then cast it for 4 mana instead. Not really what our deck is looking to do. Or we can have a 5 mana 4/4 at the beginning of each upkeep. Exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may cast spells from among those. Exile, you may spend mana as though it were mana and you cast. Whenever you cast a spell from exile, put a +1/+. I regret it every time I read that card. Every single time I read that card. Definitely want Archmage. Love drawing cards. Love making token. Other wizards have +1/+1. Nice. Copy a spell as well. We'll probably end up cutting either Talrand or Murmuring Mystic. I'm just not even this. I don't want to be disappointed twice in a turn. Or twice in a stream. Or video. Whatever I'm doing right now. Twice in this thing. Lear's really good. Even if we have to cast on our turn. These are just like the bigger things. I think 5 is the top end we want here. Soulscar Mage, Getsu Lava, or Grim Lavamancer, all very good cards. Recast our spells with this friend. I want this card to be good. Still don't think it is. Definitely want Harmonic Prodigy, double up our Adeliz triggers, plus our Random Prowess and Other Thing triggers. That friend is good for drawing cards and becoming big. No. Here's the problem, right? There are a lot of 3s that are fine. Need more 1s and 2s for the deck. It's the sad truth of it all. Because this is a 2/2 and not a 1/3, I like it a little bit more than Brawl. Like this friend for having flying and haste. We're not really going to be targeting a lot of... Whenever a creature or planeswalker an opponent controls is dealt excess damage, giant wizard or spell you control dealt this damage, draw a card. Oh. You draw a card, exile the top 2 cards of your library instead. You may play those cards this turn. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards for the first time, draw that. But it just honestly, it's a 3 mana really big thing because we're gonna have spells in our. I don't know that we're gonna go all the way up to Niv-Mizzet. Kind of avoiding the like Niv-Mizzet, Vadrock, Aerith to focus more in on like aggressive creature plan. Then from here, get into our instants and sorceries. And just sort of pick all the good draw cards. We want Fading Hope and Unsummon. Do have Baron in the deck, but also just like getting their big stuff out of the way. Good for our tiny aggro deck. Spellpierce can just really get people times. Wash Away's bust card, play it. Fine, I admit it. I was wrong. Whatever. Oh, I just realized I don't have Young Pyromancer because he's not a wizard, right? You're an honorary wizard, my friend. And Pyromancer also works well with Harmonic Prodigy, so we'll take it. Harmonic Prodigy and Poppet Stitcher, so yeah. So basically, I like to do things one card type at a time. Spells being one card type for me. For instance, sorcery. I've got the creatures that I'm looking for. Now I want to look into the spells. Yeah, so this is the card that kind of brought that up to me. Like a worse Anticipate unless you have a token out. Yeah, I like Chart a Course when you're in an aggro deck like this. Counterspell. We're not going to have a huge counterspell suite here. Just a little bit of interaction. That'll probably be it. Well, we'll also play this, but I consider the MDFCs I consider the split lands to be land cards, so I don't add them until I get to the lands. I can include them in my land count. Actually, I think negate is the true. Scry to draw. Flashback 5. A lot of these are just counterspell. Okay. Into the 3-mana spells. Brazen Borrower is an honorary wizard. Well. And I'm not looking to counter a bunch of spells. Have my small counterspell suite. Need. So right now, thing that says like draw a card or look at the top so many cards. What we're looking for. Draw 2 cards, exile an instant. Use search your hand library for any number of those, exile them. Seek an instant or sorcery. This is so much reading for like not something I wanted. You could put Wizard's Retort in, but no. Hold the Multiverse. You could draw a spell. Distant Melody's pretty good. You're playing all wizards. Memory Deluge and Hieroglyphic Illuminations are probably the best to finish off that slot. And I think we just want to go into the red spells. We're looking for some pretty classic burn spells here. Actually, these like Crash Through and Warlord's Fury are probably fine in this deck. This is card disadvantage, and we don't really have graveyard themes. There's no reason to put that in. What is the new 1 mana deal 3? Alright, pass it. Probably put it. We could do Frostbite and have snow basics. Just don't like snow basics. It's a sad truth. Shock. Like going face with shock. Triangle, that's the one I'm thinking. Never leave home without your braid. Static Blast is an amazing burn/advantage card. Wouldn't fault you for playing Fry. Going to pass on it here myself. Right. So we have Molten Impact, deal 4 damage to creature, and then the excess does damage the next time you cast a spell. You also have Mephit's Enthusiasm, which deals 4 damage to a creature, and then the next time you cast a spell, or next creature spell, you buffed by the amount of excess damage. Royal Eruption, sneakily good because late game you just kick it and they die. We have blue draw spells, so red ones not really relevant here. We have enough deal 4s. Actually, this is better than Lock. Anger the Gods. These type of spells can actually be kind of funny when you have Adeliz out. Like you pump your creatures a couple times and then cast this, and your creatures don't die, and there you do. Bone Crusher Giant. So this is the point where you could put like Brittle Blast in here or other spells that deal 5 damage, but it might be a benefit to not do that, because casting multiple spells to kill something is kind of beneficial to you in a weird way. It could go either way. Light Up the Stage is the best red draw spell, and then Skewer the Critics. Something we want to be doing. Okay, Sweltering Suns. We'll put 1 Sweltering Suns in. Because it cycles if we don't want to use it. Physics Mastery is ridiculous. And that's probably all we're going to be doing. Oh, wait. We want to get into these because we definitely want Expressive Iteration. Electrolyze is a good card. Prismari Command's great. That'll do. Okay. So now we're over by 14 here. I want to get down to 40 lands. So we need to start making some cuts. Let's see, we have 36 instants and sorceries. I'm just gonna cut Delver. Okay, Delver's just a bad card. We can cut Brawl. Didn't really get there with Brawl. Probably Goblin Electromancer too. Papa Stitcher's probably too cute. I want to keep this card because I want to see how it goes. Honestly, I'm keeping this card because it's electrostatic field. This goes here. This goes here. Goes here. Goes here. Brazen Borrower goes here. We need to cut some 4s. Dimulich, probably still bad. Said I would cut one of these. We'll cut Murmuring Mystic because the Arand ones are so much better. But let's cut the let's see. Oracles. Enters. Yeah, there just aren't that many enter the battlefield effects. We can cut I just already cut him. I think I already cut him. Tricorns. Yeah, it looks like I already cut the card I was trying to cut. Okay. Gonna cut the wizard that doubles your ETB effects. Yeah, we'll try this one. I still don't think it's gonna be very good. They buffed it, so I want to try it. 8 more cuts. Let's see. This is going to be weird, but I'm going to cut Memory Deluge because I like our other draw spell. Then Lightning Strike's probably our worst. 2 mana, deal 3. Spell Pierce is probably whatever I say before really wanting a Spell Pierce. Warlord's Fury because First Strike a little less relevant than Trample, I hope. What of these do we want? That's probably fine. These hit Planeswalkers? Alright, so we'll probably just cut Thundering Rebuke. Only have 2 of the deal, or 2 mana deal 2 mana deal 4s. Disdainful Stroke's just gonna rot in our hand. I already know that story. Cuts. I could be greedy and just it like this and do 38, but all right, so that's the point I'm at. If you want to be greedy, have 38 lands, feel free. Bolt, Shock, Grim. We just crash through. Probably regret that at some point. 1 more cut. How many wizards do we have? We have 28 wizards. Interesting. Maybe that card's too cute. All right. We have our 60 non-land cards. So this is the part where I add lands. Ooh. Quite like that. Ooh. I always like to do rare and mythic first. All of these are very good. Turn a wizard you control to his owner's hand. I guess I don't think it's very good, but sure. Glasspool Mimic would actually be pretty good here. Probably never cast this, but sometimes you do. Castle, Din. Sure. This is fine, actually. Shatter Skull, yep. I don't play Snarls, they're bad. But almost all of the other duels. Again, I just don't like snow basics. This is like the best creature land you could be playing, though. So I don't fault you for wanting to play that. Fabled Passage is a duel. Forsaken is great. Scryland. Did he put any planeswalkers? Mystic Sanctuary is probably fine. I'm not going to put this card in, even though it's a wizard. It's just so bad. I don't want a tapped island, and I don't want a 5-mana crappy wizard either. Coming Up Ruins can get your opponent sometimes. Might have put too many tap lands. But Man Tower, Field of Ruin, don't leave home without it. And 2 creature base land. Wizard. Then a bunch of basic land. More red than blue. Who's surprised there? So we put a bunch of spell lands in. It's probably fine that we're not doing or a bunch of spell lands. So it's probably fine we're not doing the snow land thing since we only have 11 basics. All right, so I do want to add Planeswalker. Totally forgot to do that. Only one Planeswalker. The Planeswalkers I think would do well in this deck. Technically, she makes a wizard, and protects our wizard. But no. Ones I'm thinking of are Chandra Torch of Defiance, Royal Scions kind of catches my fancy, but the Healy and one of the 2 Rows, probably just the. So we had to make 3 more cuts because Electrolyze underperforms for me quite often. Maybe we just don't. No sweepers. And then the last step is we craft all, name it, we personalize it. I'm gonna put Raul here. I shorted you on being in the deck, but I'll put you as the face of the deck. And always the cat sleeves. And then that's it. That's the deck. I will be streaming this later today. I hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, please remember to like, subscribe, leave a comment letting me know that you liked it. Watching to the end, which if you're hearing this, you did, is also helpful. So thank you for that. If this is something people like, I will continue to make these. At any rate, have a good rest of your day, and thank you for watching. Goodbye.